right, here we are.
Hi, welcome to the Burn It Down NASCAR podcast. We are officially in the off season, so these probably going to be a little bit shorter than regular season, but we still got things to talk about. So, what you got there?
Only thing really that there's obviously two things off the top of my head that I can think of that was announced is Ty Gibbs is going to the Cup. The 18 is not going to be the number. They're swapping
54.
over the 18 to the 54, and they're going to use the 18 and others some other capacity. They're not giving up the number apparently.
No, I wouldn't expect them to, but
Well, if they did, Kyle Busch or not Kyle Busch, but Richard Childress could plop it up and put him back in the 18 in a Chevy.
Yeah, people wouldn't have to be changing their tattoos then.
Tattoos or clothes and all that stuff.
I was kind of surprised by that because I figured they keep the 18 going. But yeah, that's it. I hope the boy learns something. And mine's just P's and Q's, kind of like Chastain. He took him a while, but he finally got it together. I don't care what anybody says. That move at Richmond was still the best move I've ever seen in my life. Martinsville, excuse me. That was awesome. I've seen some footage on that from people in the stands. That was just badass.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Cindric has been named Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I thought about that driving home today. I wanted to go back to our earlier episodes because we kind of did it like who we thought was going to win, and I don't remember who we picked. And we did it in the episodes. I don't know if we...
That would have been probably at the very beginning.
It was like, I don't know if it was the week before Daytona or the Clash or whatever, but I know we talked about it. It was Harrison.
And now that you talk about it, I believe that's who I actually picked was Harrison.
It was
Burton.
Harrison, Austin, and Gilliland. Was it Todd Gilliland? Were the three chances, but three choices. And I don't remember who. Like I said, I thought about it, and I was like, I need to go to the early episodes and look, but I don't remember when it was exactly because we started in January and. So we were like 6-7 episodes in before anything started to happen race-wise. So I don't know which episode it was we picked.
I'm trying to see it because I've kept all of our.
Yeah, I don't remember. I want to say it was Harrison too, but I don't think I picked Gilliland. It was Harrison or obviously Cindric, but I want to say it was Harrison, but I don't remember. It might be one of those things to research and look.
Yeah, because I think I picked Harrison as well. I'll have to go through all that because I know I've got it wrote down somewhere. But anyway, congratulations, Austin. He probably got it on the Daytona win alone.
Yeah, because that put him in the top 12. Well, yeah, top 16 no matter what.
Mm-hmm. So I was pretty pleased with that.
And then he made it a few rounds in the playoff anyway, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but it's nice to see that.
We'll see if it's his first year, and we'll see if he grows, but he's only at a good road course and plate driver right now. See if he.
Yeah, not too good on the intermediates.
No, we'll see if he expands and grows.
Something you've been predicting for a long, long time. Ryan Preece is in.
Oh, he's going to get his way. It's Tony knows the industry. Gene Haas don't. Cole ain't getting kicked out. He's just getting demoted to a full-time Xfinity ride. Woo, you're still fucking racing. You're still making money. You could be fucking John Hunter going all the way to fucking trucks. Or Matt DiBenedetto or whatever.
Hey, Matty D is a badass dude, man. I like
Matty, but like he got kicked out of the ride and didn't know he was going to have a ride. And literally until weeks before Daytona last year in the trucks.
Yeah.
At least you got a ride. You know you got something. And then from there, we'll see if you can actually win races because you can't do shit in the Cup.
No, Cole Custer, I don't know if they brought him up too quick, if he doesn't have what it takes. I'm not going to say that he can't race. From what I remember,
he was a really good Xfinity driver. I think that's why they did it, kind of like how they're doing with Ty Gibbs, but he just couldn't. How long has he been in the Cup Series? 2-3 years already? Had to be 3. He hasn't produced. Yeah. And he hasn't. I'm sorry, Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart in SHR is a championship caliber team. And when you're averaging, what do you finish in the points? 30th? 25th?
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
I think it was below Bubba.
Yeah, it's not acceptable. So, mid-year, I was calling this. I'm like, I think there's no way. The only way he's in there is because his daddy is on the board or whatever. But Tony's... he wants winning drivers, and Ryan Preece proved that in the trucks and Xfinity this past year. He can win. Just give him the chance.
I wish him luck. Like I said, I'm surprised it took them so long to announce this, because there for a while they were saying Cole Custer was solid. I guess not, but I think it's a good opportunity for Ryan Preece, and I'll go out there right now and say I think he'll perform better than Cole Custer did.
I think he has. I won't say he's been grounded, but he did all the legwork inside Stewart-Haas Racing with the virtual or sim racing or the simulator. So he has all that knowledge now going actually into a Cup car. So he was doing all the data points for the drivers, all 4 of them, and now he's actually taking that and he can implement it into a real car. So he actually might do way better than anybody expects because he has that knowledge.
He was for Stewart-Haas what Trevor Bayne was for Joe Gibbs. Kind of the backup, backbench, if you need me, put me in coach type thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm still irritated that Trevor Bayne.
Well, you never know. He might get the 18. That's what they might be saving him for. Up 18.
How are they going to do that?
Joe Gibbs got the money for a charter.
You only get 14.
They already they
and
have 4.
You got Truex, Hamlin.
Well, they put him in a part-time then. Part-time that car.
Well, to me that's unacceptable.
Maybe give him a full-time Xfinity ride and see what he does in that full-time ride, and then go up to next year and be in the 19 for Truex. Because Truex already is only 1 year extension on his contract, so.
Yeah, and he says he's done after that.
Well, it's up in the air. It all depends on how they progress this car, because he didn't do shit this year. And I also think he's not done. I think he's waiting for Ern Jr. to go to Junior's new team whenever he gets up there.
You think?
Start with Junior, end with Junior. At least that's what Junior wants.
I still wonder if Junior doesn't have his eyes on Childress Racing.
I don't know. It's kind of died down with all the money talk. He said it's not, obviously financially smart for them, but I just think they're laying the groundwork the next couple of years.
Well, they got to get those charters and get them paid for, and the best way to do it is to get in buy in on a team that has them already. And I don't see anybody close to being ready to sell other than Richard Childress, to be honest with you. The man's got to step down at some point. Yeah, I mean, Austin is firmly in there now with Kyle Busch. I think he signed 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. And they can bring that 8 car
Well, think about it. Well, I don't know if he still owns the numbers, but he has 3A. He had the 27 at one point, the 31. I don't know if he still owns those numbers or not, but he can also get more charters. No, the 33. Because he had also
30. I was gonna say 33.
So you don't know what their plans are. Pretty sure that's all hush hush.
Okay. Again, we know this is going to be short. You can vote for most popular driver starting November 8th, so that's well underway. I thought that, and I don't know, because I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that, because in my lifetime it was always Bill Elliott or Dale Sr., and then it was Dale Jr., and now it's Elliott. But I always thought that went on throughout the year, not post year.
They might have changed it. I know they did voting for a while now.
Yeah. I was just it kind of took me aback when I saw, well, starting November 8th, you can vote for the 2022 most popular driver award. I was like, really? I thought that I always seem to remember that going on throughout the year and announcing it before the end of the year for the awards ceremony, which is coming up here in another week or two. And I don't know. I was like, really? How's that? What happened there? Couple of stories out there. Some drivers sounding off after the championship. Of course, Elliott's crying. Let's face it. He just didn't have it this year.
No, a lot of people didn't. Harvick didn't have it. Chase, he was probably the most, but he wasn't nearly as like he should. Neither was Kyle Larson. He was there.
Or Blaney.
Yeah, or Truex. Hamlin didn't have shit for the first half of the year either way, and then he kind of spurted and then went down. Or Kyle Busch, like it was just this new car was a lot for these drivers to understand and grasp. And even then, half the time it wasn't their fault. It was the car malfunctioning with fires and tires and, just
get stuck on the track.
So half the time it really wasn't their fault. It was just the way this car is built.
Did you see those images of Kyle Busch riding up with his car for the last time after Phoenix on the hauler? Where, he was kind of nostalgic about it. It was kind of cool.
I heard he was really, really respectful on his departure.
Yeah. Well, and remember that day was the day that everyone found out, Coy Gibbs had passed. So, but hey, if Kyle Busch can keep up the demeanor he had.
He's also playing for the future for sponsors because they're keeping an eye on it and they know it's a hot topic and they're like, well, do we want to? So I think he's also doing the sponsor thing too. He's trying to
he's got to
be a nice guy.
If he wants
to race, yeah, he's got to, yeah.
Yeah, ever since he signed with Childress, and if you think about it, leading up to,
we knew it happened.
Yeah, it was almost like he morphed into his brother Kurt. You know what I'm saying? He just all of a sudden got rid of all the. Well, I'm not saying he didn't have the fire.
I think I called it when he knew something was getting signed. Is when that rain delay happened. When he was all happy-go-lucky when that rain delay interview. I called it right then. He knew something was good. His life was, stress was gone. So I think that's when it happened, and then that's when he started acting better and wasn't, I'm just here so I don't get fined type shit.
Right. I do miss those days.
Yeah,
It was good to watch.
It'll probably come out because he has expectations to win and be up top, and if he gets taken out, I'm sure he'll have those moments. But I don't know. If Childress is saying he's a Dale Earnhardt, he's gonna let him be who he is. Especially if 3Chi is sponsoring that car. That is a Childress owned company, so do what you want type shit. So you're not going to hurt the sponsorship. I own the company.
Right.
Kind of like Hendrick
Well,
cars.
I can remember him saying too, when him and Childers had that press conference, which it didn't make. I mean, I guess it does make sense, but he said something about, clear back at when the Coliseum debacle happened and how fast that 8 car was, and then he said he noticed a couple of other races where that 8 car. It sounds to me almost like he had that.
He had it in the back of his
in
mind that he was done after this year. It just wasn't announced.
Yeah.
Well, at least done with 18 with sponsorship. Yeah. But also, kind of little segue, not segue, but with the 8 car, Cheddar's, who's a sponsor of the 8 car, is not going with Tyler Reddick to Toyota. It's staying with the 8 car.
Yeah, they are. They're staying with Richard Childress. So that's good news. And I mean, he's got his Rowdy company. Like you said, Childress has got the 3 Chi company.
Then we got that Sling TV that they've been apparently teasing. So I
think there's more than enough money in the pot for Kyle Busch between all that. I'm actually gonna come out of the gates this next season pulling for the guy.
Yep.
I am. Finally he's in a Chevy and out of a Toyota.
Back in a Chevy after almost 20 years.
Yeah, 15 for sure. Little news on Jimmy Johnson. As we all know, he's now part owner of Petty GMS. They clarified a little bit this week on that third team.
It's not a charter. It's not a charter.
It's not chartered.
It's not chartered.
But he plans to race minimum 10 races and possibility more
with other people driving that car, right?
With possibly other people driving the car. But I question, what if he goes out there out of the gates and wins the Daytona 500? Do you think he's going to sit his dumbass down for the rest of the year? Now he's automatically got a playoff spot.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is it one of those things? It's too late. Say the NASCAR deadline, is it too late? Would they change the rules? I don't know if
you win a race, you're in it. I don't think it matters whether you have a charter or not.
Maybe they'll give him time to buy a charter. I don't know. I don't know how that works. That could be a question if we could ever sit down with anybody that was in the inside. Like, hey, what if Jimmy does win one of those 10 races? Doesn't have to be Daytona, but one of those 10 races.
Well, he's still got to be
top
30 in point. Yeah, in points.
And that's not bad. Kurt Busch was top 30 and he missed like 10 races. Yeah. Well, I don't even know.
But my point is what if he comes out of the gates and because he has announced he is going to race the Daytona 500.
Kurt Busch finished 30th, was missing the last 8 races or 10 races.
Wow.
So
that's the Kyle Busch rule right there.
I'm just saying, come on. It's easily possible. He can still miss races and still be top 30 and still getting, what I'm saying, by their rule. I don't know.
And I've never been that big of a Jimmy Johnson fan because I feel him and Knaus were cheaters in chief on the track. And again, you're not cheating, you're not winning. I just didn't like some of the stuff they got away with. But I just think it would be a very, very, very interesting conundrum if that scenario were to play out. And again, maybe he'll skip a couple races and maybe he won't, but I think that would just be interesting as all get out, as if he won. Because, a plate track, the boy's good. Mm-hmm. There's no two ways about that.
And it's back in a Chevy, and it's backed with actually good money, good equipment now. Yeah. Like I said, he can just win one of those races if he's in the chase, but do you have to have a charter to be in the chase? So
that I do not know.
So there's questions there. So what if he does win? Because he's not going to go out there and ride around. I don't know.
Well, no, those races he's in, he's not going to just ride around. That's a fact. He'll go for it, which I think will make it interesting because he's going to be a disruptor. I mean, what if he's not going for, if in the end not going for a championship, he's out there for what? Hard work. That's it. He's looking for the trophy. That's all he wants.
Yep.
The win.
If anything, help reestablish Petty GMS as a winning organization. Petty as a winning organization.
Well, Eric Jones didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't
won
win.
After how long has it been? 5? That was Roush was 5 years. So it's been Eric Jones. It's first time since I think Eric Amarola was in that car. So that's been a long time.
Is it Amarillo or was it Andretti? Because I know Andretti won. John Andretti won a couple of races.
I believe Amarillo was the last one because it was Bubba didn't win any in it, obviously.
No.
Before that was Eric Amarola, and I think he won. He could. If before that, I don't remember who was in the car. I just know it's been a long time. Yeah, Eric Jones is doing well in it, but Jimmy Johnson, with his money, knowledge, tricks, whatever, can bring it that much better, I guess, forward.
Hang on a minute. I'm looking it up. Because I'm interested in that. I don't see. All right, I got something here. Richard Petty. Yeah, that's a long list for Richard. We know. Buddy Baker actually won a race for him in 1972. That's interesting. I would never have guessed that. John Andretti is the last person that won in the 43 car, and that was in 1999. Bobby Hamilton drove the car to victory in 1997 and 1996. 96 was at Phoenix. 97 was at North Carolina Motor Speedway, Rockingham. And John Andretti in 99 won at Martinsville. So I was right on that. It was John Andretti, the last one to win, and Bobby Hamilton before that. And the last time Richard Petty won was his last years of, well, not last year's, but was in 1983. He did it at Charlotte, Alabama. Never heard of that. Rockingham.
Yeah, it was.
99. It was John Andretti was the last one to win in that car.
So that was 23 years ago.
23 years ago.
So yeah, so it'll bring that, or that'll bring that organization back, especially with Noah being there too. Like I expect 1 or 2
I
wins.
expect them both to. Yeah. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Jones, Gregson, and Johnson each win a race or 2 or 3, especially Gregson. Yeah. He's like I said earlier in the year. He's going to be one of my. He's going to be rookie of the year is what he's going to be. Noah Gregson.
Is there anybody else besides Ty Gibbs that's going to be a no? Ty burned his. Remember?
I can't do it.
Yeah, Ty burned it.
Yeah, I think you can only race 7 races.
It's 5.
Is it 5 now?
They might up to 7, but it's 5. I think it's 5. But he burned it by driving the 50 or the 45 car, 23, whichever one number it was.
Yeah, well, it started out 45, and Bubba got pissed, so they made it to 45.
You know, when I was thinking about it, you know how not Eric Jones, but Christopher Bell got screwed by his pit stop? That's Bubba Wallace's old pit crew. They'll mess it up all fucking year. And it fucking screwed Christopher Bell out of the championship. This is what you fucking get. You give your crew to Bubba Wallace that fucking can't do fucking shit, blame everybody but himself, and then you give it to, and you didn't, why did you switch it back to the crew that was actually doing well to Christopher Bell for the championship? And here's what you get.
And he still didn't win it.
Nope.
And that was for the Owners' Championship, and Bubba still screwed that up.
He was out before the race.
When he got kicked out of the car.
He was out before the championship the final race. So why not give Christopher Bell that pit crew back? There it is, bit him in the ass.
Yeah. Well, like we were talking last week, there's some systemic, deep problems at Joe Gibbs Racing. It's sad to see. It really is. And another thing would not surprise me is before the end of this year, or before the new year starts, to see Denny Hamlin jump ship and go to a third car at his own team.
No, he ain't leaving that yet.
It would not surprise me.
I wouldn't be surprised, but he ain't gonna do that yet. Not until his contract's up.
Well,
which I don't even know when that is. I don't expect another year or so, but yeah, if someone else is footing that bill for him, he ain't leaving it.
Yeah, but what if FedEx?
If they left, still your car, you're paying for all that. You're just driving it. With Joe Gibbs over there, you're actually, the bill, what you're that wreck, that's more to his thinking. He's this whole year we knew he was racing, worried about those two cars instead of worried about his car. His crew chief even said, "Shut up and race. Don't worry about them." Many times. So him going to that's gonna just add another level to it.
You know what Denny Hamlin makes a year?
Probably like $20 million.
And has for the last 5 years over $14 million a year. For the love of God, really? Start winning. You know?
He did. He won a couple, but he wrecked more than he didn't.
He had Chastain living rent free in his head, so
yeah.
That was his problem. I'm trying to see. Story continues. Says it doesn't say. Hamlin's drive.
There's really nothing much else. There's Hendrick built the Garage 56 Le Mans, doing testing on that. Gibbs, Custer.
There isn't a whole lot of news. I'm seeing Trackhouse Racing looks to expand into other sports areas. Hermie Sadler, if you lived in Virginia, you could vote for him for state senator.
Hey, that dude in Pennsylvania can win. Anybody can win.
Oh, my God. He looks like a 10-foot tall Igor or whatever off of Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein. Hell, those idiots elected a dead man in Pennsylvania. This must be something in the water.
And Michigan re-voted fucking Hitler back.
I know. This pisses me off as much as about anything. Have you seen the float for the Rose Bowl parade?
I told you. We kind of talked about it last week.
Did we? Okay.
What pisses you off about it?
The color and the theme.
Well, look at the cars on it. They're not even current cars. Earnhardt, Petty, and Gordon from the 90s.
Uh-huh.
Not current. So you're trying to promote NASCAR with 30-year-old fucking paint schemes. The drivers, for one, are retired, an owner, right, and dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't show you, oh, I know those cars, but okay, why don't you have Chase on it or Joey Logano because he won and Ross Chastain what he did? You know what I'm saying? Get your current drivers on. Maybe they don't want to be special towards, I don't know. But it just makes no sense to me that float having 3-year-old cars on it. I saw it.
All right.
I've totally forgot this next year is NASCAR's 75th anniversary, and the logo is actually pretty slick. You haven't seen it yet.
I have.
They're going like, I don't say they're going retro, but they're being more simple with the logos now, and they're not being so fancy. Yeah, other than that, I looked on Google, there's really nothing news-wise besides Joe Logano doing his, news tour for winning the chip, and he's ready to go for next year to parlay for another championship, and blah, blah.
Still, that you can't blame him. It's a second championship.
No, I know. I'm just saying he's ready to go for his next. He's ready. I get it, and we know it's going to be slow at least until January. Everybody's cooling down, doing their own thing, and when January comes around, that's when more news will start coming because that's when it starts ramping up. The cars are getting tested. They're going out. It's getting ready to be race time. Now until at least the beginning of the year, it's going to be very, very minuscule news.
Well, like we've said in the past, these winter hits are going to be a little shorter, and like I said, we'll bring as much info as we can that we know about, and try to make it as interesting as possible. But I've been listening to Sirius XM, obviously, and my time when I'm in the vehicle to listen is during the morning drive with Pistone and Bagley, and even they're struggling right now. They're doing the Wayback Machine type talk, which again, I'm not knocking them. It's just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Now I might, if we have time or if I get time, we might do like a fantasy booking type thing of, but that's if we get really bored.
Yeah.
Maybe
a fantasy schedule.
Yeah, like make something fun. Talk about what about this or do this, and
fantasy schedule and a fantasy chase and
scenarios and this and that. Yeah. Might have to get a breakdown of all the drivers, of confirmed in their rides and who's not set yet. And so, we need to watch for these, look out for these, and just simple stuff.
It's a good idea. We got some things we can talk about, Phil, sometimes. So, I'm still waiting because there's that rumor out there that Tony is about had it with NASCAR, and I haven't heard ever since his not Las Vegas, but was it Las Vegas where he did the NHRA?
I don't.
It was out west somewhere. When all those rumors started bubbling up, and then he was second place.
Yeah.
First time out. Haven't heard anything more since then. So, all right, kiddo. I got nothing else.
Me neither.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. And hang with us through the off season. We'll do our best. It's just tough when there's not a race to talk about every week, and
we knew these were going to be short, and half hour is plenty good. So
yeah. All right. See y'all next week.